Hi, John here. In this video I'm going to quickly go over installing your membership mastery agency website. If you've gone through this training, you'll hopefully know what I'm talking about. So I've logged in and I'm going to go to the very bottom here where it says import and install your website. I'm going to click on there, and then what you need to do is to download these two files. One is labeled as installer file, which in fact is a file called importbuddy.php, and the second one is the actual clone or backup file, which has a much longer name, backup hyphen, and then on the end has got .zip. So if you download those files, then what you need to do is this. Go over to your cPanel. You see I'm going to use a subdomain here of membershipmastery.srvcontrol.info. So the first thing I suggest you do is to actually create your MySQL database. So I'm going to click on this wizard and I'll just call this database agency. Click next step. I'll put agency in there, and in this case I'm going to use the password generator, and you can see I've got a password here, and I'm going to copy that, or I've copied it, and I will paste it into here. When I click on use password, it's actually going to populate it in here, but you do want to have that recorded, which is why I did a Control-C to copy it. So I'll do that. You can see it's in there. It's a very strong password, which is what we want, so that people can't obviously guess it and hack into your site. After that, you'll get this page. Put a tick in the box there for all privileges, and scroll down here to the next step. Click on that, and you'll see this line here. So what I tend to do is just copy that, like I've done with the password, here into a notepad, or in this case I'm using Notepad++ document, because I'm going to want to copy over the database name and the database user and this password a bit later. So that's that part finished, but I need to now go back to here, make sure I'm in the public HTML folder, and I'm going to upload those two files. So let's find them in here if I can. Let's call back up the first one. Right, okay, it's this one here, I can tell by the date, which is what I'm going by more than anything. So I can upload that. I'm using the file manager, by the way, in cPanel because that's much quicker and easier to do. So I'll find the other file which I want, which is the import buddy. Now I'm going to try and sort it out from these because I've got lots. But I think what I'll do if I go down here. See, if you've only ever downloaded it once, yours is just going to say import buddy PHP. But I've done this lots and lots of times, and I frequently use backup buddy and import buddy. So I need to go here so I can actually find the one. There we go. That is dated today. Just making sure I'm using exactly the same version. I'm just going to pause this video while these two files upload. Okay, you can see the two files are uploaded. So I can click here to go back into File Manager. And what I'm just going to do is rename these. Chances are you won't have to do that. But because I've got so many files the same, it adds those numbers on the end. So just amend it so you end up like this. Now if I go and refresh this, you can see, and sometimes hosts disable this option so that you can't actually browse what's in the folder. So if that's the case, what you would do is you put your domain name like I've got in here, and then do import buddy.php. Okay, so what we need as well though from this page here, you see we've got a password for the import file. So I need to just copy that or just type it out, everlesson5511. So let's go back to here, everlesson5511, and click on the authenticate button. And that should bring you to a page like this, which is step 1 of a 6-step process to restore your site. Now, a couple of things to mention just before we go any further. Firstly, you do not need WordPress to be installed. This import buddy process with backup buddy takes care of that for you. Secondly, if I go back in here in cPanel, you should see down the bottom a version number, 64.0.19, which is the most recent stable version of cPanel. If your host does not have that, then unfortunately you may well find, certainly if you're below version 60, that this file will not work. And that's because there's been quite a few changes to cPanel. And what I've found, for instance, on Namecheap, is many of their servers are running version 58 of cPanel. And the worst I've found was on GoDaddy with version 56. If you have those versions, then I think, unfortunately, you're going to struggle and you'll need to get some expert help, like from myself or Bob, or maybe your hosting company. But people seem to have had mixed results with hosting companies in trying to get them to help you do it. So just bear those two things in mind. So, right, I'm going to go back here, and I'm not going to change anything on this page at all. I'm just going to click on this blue button that says Restore Backup. And that is how quick it is, but that is because I'm on a virtual private server. If you are using shared hosting, and depending how good that hosting is, that process, which for me took probably 2 seconds, may well take 5 minutes. And sometimes it will fail as well. So it is certainly worthwhile with having some decent hosting to get over those sort of problems. Okay, so I'm going to go back into my Notepad++, and I'm going to copy this database name, and the user is the same. I'm going to put localhost in that box because that's absolutely fine. I'll paste in the database name, the database user, which are both the same. I can put that the same in there, and now I'll just get my password that we set up, which is this one here at the top. As you can see, very nice, strong, secure password. No risk that someone is going to be able to guess that and hack into your site or into your database. Having filled those pieces of information in, I can click Next Step and just wait for that to complete again. You can see how quick that was, but that again is because I'm using a virtual private server, which means I'm not sharing my resources and everything with maybe 5,000 people, which is what you'll find with many of these hosting companies. We're now on step 5. I don't need to change anything here. This will be my new URL for my site, which is fine. So I just click Next Step, and I wait for that to finish. And this is just giving me a warning that there is a maintenance file in the WordPress root folder, which is quite normal, and it just means for me to be able to verify this works, I just need to go back into my file manager, excuse me, reload, and I think, I need to show the hidden files, because at the moment you can't see that .maintenance file, and that's simply because by default, and you see here it says .files, they are hidden. So I need to put a tick in that box so that I can then see it. Leave these two here and just get rid of this maintenance one. So I'll confirm that I want to delete that. So now when I go back here and I click on the link for my site, ta-da, there is your completed site. Now, let's just go back here a moment and scroll down a little bit. Here we go. So, here is my login, WordPress login. I would advise you to make a new user, log in with these details, make a new user, give that user admin access, and then log out, log in with the new admin, and then actually delete this account. By using admin as your username, you're sort of given the key to your door. All they have to do is find the right lock to put it in. So it would be wise to change that. So let's just go in here and test that I can, in fact, log in. Oops, I didn't put a forward slash. That's it. Wait for this to load. So admin and then the password. But at the very, very least, change the password, but I would even create a new user. There will be a few things that you need to change in here. For a start, we can see there's some updates, but let's go into settings first, and I'm going to put in a site title. You may well want to use something different. Important thing is to update this to your own email. That's important, as if you don't do that, you will not be able to get a password reset if you forget what your password is. So let me just try and find London as my time zone and change anything else here you want, but I think it's fine. Okay, so let's just go into plugins, and then we can see which ones need updating. So you can see there's quite a few here that need updating. There may be some themes as well, so I've just gone up the top here where I can see all the updates. So there's the plugin ones, and there's a couple here for themes, including the Sydney theme that this is built upon. So what I'll do, I think, first is I'll update the themes. And that is now done. So I can return to the WordPress updates, and I will now select all of these. That's it. And just do update plugins. And then I'll just wait for that to finish. I'm sure for me this is going to be very quick because of being on the VPS. If you're on shared hosting, then it's going to take considerably longer. So what I suggest you do now is you go through and obviously update things. For example, in the employees, you probably want to add your own photo there. So for instance, if I visit the site and I scroll down, you can see you've got some photos here. So you could add your own in there so that you get something like this in here as well. And by all means change anything else. Clearly down the bottom you need to update things like this. So for things like that, I would go back in here, and if I find the forms, Ninja Forms, then this is where you can obviously update things in there. So you can sort of see some of the stuff is in here. So just go through that. If you've got other problems, then I think just ask in the group. I mean, this video already is much longer than I wanted, but I thought it was important to show you enough of the information, not just relating to the upload and install of the clone. Thanks, and see you in the next video.